Hi, my name is Cullen, and I'm a personal injury attorney in Winter Park, Florida. We're approached by potential clients in a wide variety of cases, from car accidents to slip and falls to attacks at businesses and many other kinds of cases. Sometimes when we investigate cases, we find out that the at-fault party or our potential defendant in a case has no liability insurance. Well, when we find out that there's no liability insurance, we have some important decisions that we and our clients have to make about whether or not to pursue the case. Unfortunately, we find that when an at-fault party doesn't have liability insurance, it's also frequently true that they don't have any significant assets. In about 99% of the cases where we find that the at-fault party has no insurance and no assets, we have to tell our client that it's a case that we can't pursue. And oftentimes, our clients get angry with us or have a lot of questions about why it is that we can't pursue cases like these. So I thought it would be interesting to shoot a video and talk to you a little bit about why it's so rare for personal injury lawyers to pursue cases when there's no liability insurance. So the number one target or the number one goal in a civil lawsuit or a personal injury claim is to get money for our clients. It's the transfer of money from the at-fault party, the person who deserves to pay, to the person who's deserving of being compensated. So it's from the at-fault party to the person who's innocent. When that goal can't be achieved, we have to ask ourselves a question about whether or not we want to invest the time and energy and money into pursuing something that's not going to ever bring anything to fruition. And most of the time when we consider that and talk about it, we decide this is something that we can't pursue. So a lot of our clients ask us, well, why can't I just go get a judgment and then go collect on the judgment? That's a very good question, and it's something that they can do, but most people need to realize that it does cost money to go get a judgment. It does cost time and energy outside of taking time off of work and being in the courthouse and all those kind of things. You actually have to go through a small trial in order to get a judgment. And then what do you have at the end of the day when you have a judgment? Well, you have a piece of paper with a number on it. And then you have to figure out what to do with that piece of paper. And so Florida, unfortunately, has laws that are very friendly for debtors or people who owe money. So in Florida, you cannot execute a judgment against someone's primary residence. You can't execute a judgment against their primary vehicle. So unless the person has other assets or like raw land or vehicles like ATVs or boats or things like that, it's often very, very difficult to collect money from somebody. People often ask us, well, why can't I garnish their wages, or why can't I levy their bank account? Well, those are also things that you can do, but then you have to figure out, where does this person work? Where is their bank? What bank do they use? We have found doing this over the last 25 years that people that don't carry liability insurance and don't have assets typically don't have real steady jobs and don't have bank accounts. So it's very difficult to, in the course of even living your own life, to go out and try to keep track of people that you have a judgment against and find out where they live and what bank they use and where their job is. And it's just a lot of time and energy, unfortunately, with very little likelihood that you're ever going to collect any money. So these are the reasons why we typically don't pursue cases when there isn't liability insurance involved. If you have questions about a potential case or want to know some more information about this, please contact me or my law partner, Robert Hemphill, at 407-254-4901, or text us at 407-644-4444.